Alright, so here we are with the Kabul Bulls preseason preview for the 2054 season. We do not have predictions put out yet. Orlando hasn't put them out yet, but um, I don't know. Can't really say where I'm predicted to be, where the Bulls are predicted to finish up at the end of the season, but I feel like we should be a playoff team. Um, didn't really lose much in the offseason. Well, we lost 10. It's either two or Thu. I'm still not sure how to say his last name, the catcher, to Buffalo for free agency. But other than that, we bring basically everyone back. Um, let's see. And some other teams, Buffalo picked up two. North Dakota, they picked up Robles. And um, San Francisco, they're still good. They've still got a lot of good players. Miami sold off all their people, basically. Um, United Kingdom, they should be getting slowly better as NML brings them up. Little Rock, he's got some good pieces. False Bay is not what they used to be, but they still got some players. Buenos Aires, they've got some players though. Some of their guys are starting to get a little old, kind of like Kasib, who's really taken a drop, as you will see right here. Used to be amazing, slowly dropping off. If he continues to drop like he has the past two seasons, this will more than likely be his last. Um, Still good movement, still good control, but his pitches are gone. There's just nothing there. So let's go over Kabul, as this is what I'm making this vid for. Let's go with our pitching first. All right. Um, go with my rotation. You've got Peppers Pasquet, who is going into his, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, into his 11th full season with the Bulls. Holy cow. Man, I didn't realize I started him when he was 19. Yikes. 11th season at 29 years old. The good news is my innings have kind of limited him. He's only gone over 200 innings one season. That was his 23 win season in 2049. So second pitcher would be Juan Santos, who I traded for with False Bay last season. Um, I gave up a bunch of not much. Um, this guy Acevedo, um, Hood, who is now with another team, and Hesketh, which just got picked in the Hunger Games. To get Ringo Santos here, who's a 3.5. He was a 4-star guy, I think, when I first picked him up. Um, who's on a 2.5 million contract through the 2056 season. So I've got him for 2.5 mil per year for 3 more seasons, which I feel is pretty good. He'll be 30 by then, and I won't feel so bad about letting him roll. Um, but yeah, he was decent for me in 11 starts last year, 3.65 ERA. Um, I think he should be good. Nicholas Ratbreath, PA. I'm going to say PA. He hasn't really pitched up to his ratings. Still hoping that control gets up to 55. Um, but yeah, his first full season was 2052. He had a 4.02 ERA. Um, walked a ton of people though. Last year he missed 10 games, or I guess around 10 starts with an injury. Um, Started out really bad. Started coming back and doing better towards the end of the season, if I remember correctly. Finished with a 4.34 ERA. Walks were down a good bit, which is good news. But I expect him to take a leap here in the next season or two. He should be a future ace for my squad. He's only 23 years old. Jude Braley should be a future number 2 or 3 for the Bulls. Probably a future 3. I like his potential. I like what he's got. He had a 3.99 ERA in his first full season for me last season. Pretty good season overall. He gives up some homers, 28, but think he's going to be a good pitcher. And my number 5, Tristan Shield. Pretty good number 5, I think. Um, he could be used long relief out of the pen if I had someone better, but um, last year in a full season as a starter, he had a 4.09 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, struck out 152, but his BABIP was low, so um, it's probably on the good side of what he could do. Let's see. Yeah. So that's my starting rotation. Bullpen, as you can see, Humphrey, one of the better closers in the South League, even after his ratings took a hit after he got injured. He tore his rotator cuff in 2051. Went from having 80 stuff, 65 movement, 65 control, down to 65 stuff, 65 movement, 55 control. So yeah, his controls come back up some. It was 55, now it's back to 60. At 31, I don't see any of his ratings getting back up. That rotator cuff tear probably did him in for those, but this is still good. As you can see, last year it was his first full year back. He injured it in 2051. Missed most of 2052, came back the latter half of the season, pitched well, and then last year was his first full season back. And while not his 2049, 2050 numbers, it was still a very good season. And yeah, he won reliever of the year, so still a very good closer. Near Murta, my one left-hander out of the pen. Used to start for me. Now he's pure bullpen. He's always pitched better than his pitches you would think. I mean, 50, 50, 40, 60, 45. And every year he's finished with a sub 4 ERA. So I've always liked him. Raul Chavez finally has reached his max potential. Had a really good season, 2052. He threw 56 innings, had a sub 2 ERA. Last year he was terrible though, and he started out terrible. And once he started out terrible, my manager just decided not to use him basically because he only threw 19 innings. So we'll see if he can get some more work this year. Wertgen, another guy that has just amazingly outperformed his ratings. He's got good stuff. He's got 2 really good pitches. No movement though, but he doesn't give up a ton of homers. 6 homers in 90 innings last year. I mean, he's had a sub 3 ERA in all 3 seasons he's pitched in the bigs. So, I mean, a really good cheap guy. He comes into arbitration this off season, and I think he's 1.6 mil. I don't know if I'll keep him or not though. I've got some good arms coming up. Fraser Winden. I thought when Humphrey went through his injury that Fraser was going to be my future closer, but since Humphrey's kind of rebounded, Fraser, especially with his stamina, has become basically a 100-inning reliever for me. Threw 99 innings last season in his rookie year, had a .8 WAR, uh, struck out 8.5 per 9, gave up 10 homers with a 3.45 ERA. So it was a good rookie season for him. With his stamina and still having Humphrey uh, playing, doing what he's doing now and getting as many innings as he can, it's probably the best for my team. Daniel Mahler Salmon. This is a guy I picked up off of free agency as a minor leaguer a couple seasons ago. Can't remember who dropped him. I don't know. It just says he became a minor league free agent. It looks like he was with Lisbon before. Planned on using him as a starter. He has 360 plus pitches, but with my rotation, I've decided to put him in the bullpen. And last year he wasn't that great. Near a 5 ERA, 1.5 WHIP. Walked a ton of guys, 33 and 65 innings. So, I don't know. He's an arm. Luis Espinoza, this will be his rookie season. He doesn't have a ton of experience in the upper levels of my farm system. He pitched in A-ball a lot. But His ratings are about maxed out, and he's not going to be a starting pitcher for me for a while. So I decided to go ahead and move him to a reliever. As you can see, he's got really good stuff, really good pitches. Um, so we'll see what he does out of the pen this year. Lineups wise, Chad Childs will be my starting shortstop. I need an upgrade at this position so badly. Childs has been really good with his bat. Well, I won't say really good, but he's been good enough to where I don't really want to get rid of him. Um, but as you can see with his defensive ratings, he's just not that good of a shortstop. Now, he's a three-time Gold Glove winner at second base, but I don't have anyone to play at shortstop. And if I put him at second, that means I would have to sit either David Lopez or Tony Gonzalez. And here's Tony. And all Tony Gonzalez did last year was hit 356, average 376 on base, and lead the South League in slugging with a 557 slugging percentage and have a 5 WAR. So I don't really want to keep him out of the starting lineup. I have moved him to third base. David Lopez was my third baseman, but he plays second base better, and Tony plays third base better, so we just swapped him. Speaking of David Lopez, I just signed him to a contract extension, $12 million for 3 more seasons after this season when he's getting 10.5. He's had a really good bat, really even across the stats here. 20 plus doubles, 20 plus homers for the past couple seasons. His infield range has just died. Like 3 seasons ago, I think it was like 55 or 60, and it's just gone down 5 or 10 each season. Playing second base, I'm not sure how that's going to work. I may have to just put Tony back over there and move David back to third base. I wasn't expecting his range to fall like that, but I think he had an injury. Yeah, he sprained his ankle last year. He strained his hamstring before, so his legs are probably giving out on him a little bit. In the cleanup spot, Felix Prophet Perez. Still got good power, still got good eye. It's going to get on base a lot, but his average is not what it used to be. As you can see, each season it's dropped about 10 points. Hopefully, it does not continue dropping, and he can continue to hit 30 plus homers while getting on base at a 360 clip. Not what he was, but still a very good player. Felix Alvarado in the 5-hole. Really good outfielder defensively. Amazing speed on the base paths. Not the greatest eye, but he gets on. He hits well. 312, 345, 531 slash line last season. 4.2 WAR in his first full season. In 2052, he played 38 games and hit the hell out of the ball in those last 38 games. He should probably be playing up towards the top of my lineup, at least against righties. But I want to keep his power. It's 28 homers. I want to keep his power around the middle of the lineup. Layer-haired Jeeves, who I tried to trade this offseason, but he used his 10-5 rights and rejected it. So he will be starting at first base again. I will be moving Octavio Caneliac in and out of the lineup throughout the season to get him ready for next season when he will be starting. Jeeves is 34, and his ratings are starting to decline ever so slightly, though these ratings look about the exact same as they were last season. So at 34, he still looks good. Really good at 34. He had his best season last season, as he's had probably the best season he's had in a while. At least not injury shortened. He's had a couple injury shortened seasons that were on the way to being better, but almost got back to 20 homers, had 36 doubles. He's a doubles machine. He's had over 30 doubles of basically every season in his career. 284, 350, 463. He had a down year in 2052, but last year was back more to where I expected him to be. But this is his last year with the Bulls. 2055 is a team option year with Caneliac on the squad. That's going to get bought out. I hate to do it to Jeeves. I love Jeeves. He was my man when I first started. It's my first real draft pick. and led my team to a championship in 2048. As you can see by his ring there, he's played his entire career with the Bulls. Um, so yeah, this will be his farewell season. Francisco Miranda, the catcher, with losing two. I needed to bring someone in. Miranda played for me last year as a backup to two. This year he will be my starter. He was really cheap. It's on a minor league deal. He'll be getting 490K, I think. Um, decently defensive, decent defensively, and his bat with him starting, I expect it to be a little better than that, what he did last year, but we'll see what happens. Adamar DK, um, I don't might with Kaniliak. I planned on him being my right fielder, but his outfield range just died. So DK is kind of a placeholder until I get a better right fielder or corner outfielder to put out there with Alvarado. He's good defensively, and his bat is average. I don't think he'll kill me. When he got most of his at bats and games started in 2052, he batted 272, 317, 381, had 5 homers. Nothing spectacular. He had a positive WAR, but if I could get that kind of a slash line out of him this year, I'd be extremely happy. So we'll see how he does. And Guastal Bronco. Um, bat didn't turn out to what I wanted it to be when I traded for him. He had like 55s across the board here, except for home run potential, and those have slowly ticked down. Defensively, also he lost 5 range. OSA still thinks he's 70, but my scout thinks he's 65. So not quite what I expected him to be, but he had a .5 WAR last season while only batting 250, 294, 337. So, and he came on towards the end of the season. So I'm hoping he can carry it over. As you can see, he had a good spring, batting over 300, 359 on base. So um, anything above 250, I would be really happy with him. I'd love to have his on base over 300. So we'll see. Those are my starters. My backups: backup catcher Harrison Cashion, who I got in the third round of the 2052 draft. Um, That's kind of an average bat, good defensive catcher, good guy in the clubhouse. That's kind of what I look for in a backup catcher. Octavio Kaniliak, I'd really like for him to be starting at first base instead of Jeeves, as you can see by his ratings. Um, but I'll just kind of platoon him between first base and the corner outfield spots, even though his outfield range is horrid. Um, for a game here and there, maybe 2 games a week, it'll do. Um, Infielders: Austin Silk, decent ratings, kind of like a DK type guy in the infield, more of a third base, second base dude. Um, so we'll see how he does. And Luca Merlini, he had a decent season his rookie season last season. 240, 284, .6 WAR. He had 15 homers, which is a lot more than I expected. And I think he played decent defense. Let me see. Shortstop. Negative 1.4 shortstop. With his ratings, that's not bad. He's about the best I've got, best defensive infielder I've got. So that's my full team. That's who will be starting off the season. I'll go through my top prospects right quick. Tangles, it's been my number one prospect. I think he's 14 prospect overall. Um, Future third baseman. So yeah, he'll take over probably Gonzalez when his contract runs out. Hopefully Tangles will be ready to take over there. Ernesto Ramos, who has his stuff has just skyrocketed the last season or two. It went from like 50 to 70. His fastball, as you can see, is amazing. His splitter and cutter have gone up. OSA thinks it's even going to be even better. Wish his movement and control would be higher, obviously, but I'll take it. Let's see what happens with him. Continue on. Christoph Viper Utpadel. Um, He'll be a pretty decent reliever, I think. 60 fastball, 70 curve. OSA thinks it'll be a 75 curve. I'm not so sure. Either way, decent pitches, decent stamina. I think he'll be a good pitcher. Luis Otero, who is a scouting discovery and will be playing his first season in A-ball. He's got a couple interesting pitches. I don't know, nothing. OSA, they think he's going to be a lot better, but we'll see. He's got a ways to go. Dobby Pals, who is Two's eventual replacement. Just got to get there. I'm hoping after this season he'll be ready to go. I don't know. He may be 2 seasons away. We'll see. Really good arm. Good defensively at catcher. Really good bat. 4-star potential. Hopefully he reaches it and he can start. Aki DeVos or Aki DeVos, something like that. OSA thinks he's got 260 pitches and a 55 fork with really good control. My scout agrees on the control. It's close on the pitches. Stuff's not quite as high. Looks like a decent pitcher though. Hopefully he continues to progress. And David Pickett, who is almost a clone of Daniel Mahler Salmon in my Major League bullpen right now. So that's my main guys. Let's see, I'll go over my international complex right quick. All players. Cacadino, I picked him up in this latest IFA signing period. I'm always sketchy about guys with high changeups because changeup seems to be the one pitch that just never reaches its potential. I don't know of many guys with really high changeups, so I'm not sure what's going to happen with this guy. We'll see. I love his movement. I love that he's a sinker baller. So we'll see what happens. Zhangzi Xiao or Chow, Cow, I don't know, whatever. As you can see, my head scout doesn't think much of him. Thinks he's got good power, good gap, good eye. Needs that contact to come up, but OSA thinks he's really gonna be good. They even see his defense to be pretty good. So we'll see. If he turns into this at 6.5 mil, that would be a great pickup. Kyle Matson, another IFA pickup this past IFA period. I expect his fastball to get better because 87, 89, that's going to increase. If he can get up to the mid 90s, I think that'll be a 60 pitch at least. So it's, again, the changeup. I don't think he's going to reach 70 changeup. I don't know any guys that reach 70 changeup. So then you're hoping that the splitter becomes a really good pitch. So we'll see. Jackie Roy was another scouting discovery. OSA thinks he's going to be a really good bat. Defensively, doesn't have much there yet, but he's only 16. So let's hope. Let's hope some of these guys turn out like OSA thinks they will, and not like my scout. Let's see. Yeah, that's really about all the good ones at least. All right, well that'll do it for the preview of the Kabul Bulls in before the 2054 season. All right.